It's been a minute, people, but the four amigos are back. The four-headed monster is back, so strap in and let's get ready to go. What up? It is Saturday, September 30th. The time is 4:04 p.m. The four-headed monster, we call ourselves collectively Square One, is back in the house. What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing well yourself?
I can't complain. It's football season.
I'm good. What up?
You can't complain when football's playing.
Football season.
Now, I'm going to say this. I'm a little biased. I don't really care for college football that much, so to speak. I'm only focusing on three teams now. And I know that's going to hurt some people that are listening. If it ain't the Gamecocks, it ain't the Clemson Tigers, it ain't the Carolina Buffaloes, I ain't worrying about them. I'm just sorry. I'm just not. I am definitely focused because my daughter went to South Carolina, so I got to support that. Clemson is our nemesis, so I got to watch them and hope that they fail. And, of course, the Clemson Tigers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And saying, of course, the Buffaloes with Mr. Deion Sanders, they are the hottest thing going in the NCAA now, so I got to watch them and support that. But other than that, go ahead.
How quickly do you think that's going to go as soon as they lose their first game?
They already lost their first game.
Oh, did they? I didn't know. Okay.
They lost
When did they lose
got
to?
Destroyed by Oregon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Wasn't even funny. I'm not sure about Stanford. Well, USC, I'm not sure. That's Keyshawn Johnson's alma mater. They were on First Take this weekend, and of course, Keyshawn wants his Trojans to win. Of course, Michael Irvin is pulling. I think he's pulling for Colorado as long as Deion Sanders. I want to think that Skip Bayless is pulling for Deion Sanders. We got a lot of questions today. I sent out the questions earlier this week, and before we get into it, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. Starting off with my main man, Mr. Chris Knight. What's going on? Your neck of the woods, sir?
Oh, not too much. Just dealing with a headache right now, but I'm here and looking forward to tomorrow's Ahsoka roundtable. So, not much, though.
And Mr. Nzo, what's going on your neck of the woods, sir?
What's up, guys? Biggaford Entertainment. Just glad to be back here on Square One. Got some good topics, man. Let's get to it.
Yes, I want to thank the people in the audience. Anik Jones, thank you for joining us, brother. And G Majors, what's up? Thank you. He said, what up, though? What's up? Anik says, Buffalo just lost. They lost to Green Bay? Did Buffalo play Green Bay?
No. And maybe he's talking about
Buffalo played Miami, didn't they?
Yeah, I think he's talking about isn't it Colorado Buffaloes for?
Oh, it was a close game. Buffalo just lost to to USC.
Yeah.
Okay. I already said it. I think it was gonna be an NFL game today. Well, he's 3-2, so that's still a winning season. He's still at 500, and plus he's
Yeah, but if
missing one
you
of his.
lose more than 2 games, you're not gonna get it to any bowls, are you?
I doubt it. He got to win everything else from now.
Not this year. I think next year the whole playoff system's going to like the top 8 or 10 teams. So,
but that college don't care because they made so much money this year in these past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 5 weeks now. I forgot how much. I think the sunglasses he wearing, he did that some kind of sold them. I heard it made like 1 point something million in record time. So I guarantee you the attendance is up because it's been sold out. It's been getting national exposure on TV. So hey, the boosters and the powers that be over there, they're rolling their money now. So they happy. But I think he's gonna have a winning season. Maybe 7-6, maybe 8-4. I'm not sure how many games they play. I think it's 13. So he may be 8-5. He may be 800. I don't know. I mean 500. Correction. He may be maybe a 500 team. I don't know, but I don't think he's gonna be a loser season like he was last year. It's definitely not gonna be that one and whatever they were last year.
just getting them. All he has to do is get 6 wins, and they're going to put him in a bowl, guaranteed. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad the rest of their season goes. If he gets up to 6 because it's him, they'll put him in a bowl because that's good for TV.
You might be right, Chris. I don't have any reason to dispute that.
Yeah, neither do I.
And Nick says, remember, Buffs only won 1 game last year. That is correct, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Next season, Buffs will be better because of recruiting. This year, they don't have good players. You're absolutely right. And if you watch the show, Deion told him, you better get me this year because what he has in store for next year and his recruiting he's going to be doing, they're going to be a powerhouse next season.
You know where they're going to?
They're probably going straight down. Say again?
No, conference. Do you know what conference they're going to?
I don't know. I'm not
Big
sure.
12, which is the conference where I'm at.
Okay. And
So all the local schools will be going against him.
He's going to a lot of people's houses and in their front rooms, and I know if my son was in that caliber, and Deion come to the house, I'm gonna say, bro, you had me at how you doing, sir? Because my son's signing. He is signing with you. So let's go. So he has just that much cachet. We had several questions that I sent to the fellas earlier this week.
Oh, speaking of these questions, sorry to cut you off, Danny.
Go right ahead.
I guess my text was discarded or totally ignored, or maybe it didn't make its way to all of you. But I had sent a request to have the questions resent to me because I accidentally deleted it, but I never got those questions.
They were sent back to you.
Really?
They sure were.
That's why I was laughing, huh?
No, because I seen that you did that.
Where?
Hold on, let me find them because I always keep my text just for instances like this.
The only one I got left is the one with you $50 good, wrong person. I sent my pics, and that's all I got.
Yeah, Danny was trying to bribe us, I think. I don't know what. I was interested. I'm like, $50? Sure. I mean, what $50 for what?
Who you want?
That's my brother wanting some money.
Oh, I like Anzo's idea from before the show, the $50 million. That I'd much rather take that.
The what?
The $50 million you mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah,
I'd take that, and for the reasons you said.
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah,
that.
You can even catch me.
You know.
Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-bum.
Oh.
Keep checking.
What did I tell you guys on Thursday? What did I tell you guys on Thursday?
You said Green Bay? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I said Green Bay, but what did I tell you? I said no matter what I can pick. I can pick the wrong thing every time. Every time Detroit or Atlanta plays. If I pick Atlanta, I'm going to get screwed. If I don't pick Atlanta, I'm going to get screwed. If I don't pick Detroit, I'm going to get screwed. If I pick Detroit, I'm going to get screwed. Every time. Those are the 2 worst teams in the NFL for picking.
Man, I was on Roberto when Roberto was taking Detroit again. I say, you know what? I'm gonna follow this trend because I'm not taking another team and then have Detroit come in
Yeah.
here and pretty much.
Detroit proved a lot to me last season that they are no pretend, they are no fluke. They're playing with a chip
You
and they're riding with their
you keep
coach, man.
holding on to that. That's the same thing that the Detroit fans have been holding on to for like 50 years.
Well, they deserve it. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, Chris, but
I understand.
them being above 500 is big fucking shit. Or excuse me, big things over there.
I agree.
Yeah, well, we'll see what that ends up at. We'll see how it ends up.
Hey man, for
There's some
Detroit,
hating going on.
winning more than 2 games is something big for them. To be honest with you, you
They've
know what I
had nothing
mean?
but losing seasons for
Facts.
2 decades, man.
Yeah, and they ain't that bad.
When's the last time you heard Detroit's in first place? Oh, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I was really shocked, and I was like, I might be able to look more closely at Detroit because they seem to be. I don't know what they're sniffing now, what they're drinking or eating, but as long as they keep sniffing, drinking, eating it, I might have to choose them.
There's certain
They
teams.
definitely look good. I think they got a chip on their shoulder too because golf feels some kind of way. Y'all, I took y'all to the Super Bowl, and y'all traded me for this guy, and now the Rams look like hot trash, hot garbage.
Well, I think the Rams were hot trash last year.
Oh, they're missing their main
Yeah,
weapon.
but they feel like they were upgraded when they got that quarterback, Stafford,
They
though.
won the Super Bowl, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, that first one, I don't mean like that.
Okay.
I mean that first year, I think they took a lot of people by surprise. Donald was still doing well, and
When he was in Detroit, Danny, he didn't have the weapons that Goff has now.
I agree. But
No.
I'm saying
No.
I think Goff could have been developed and been a better quarterback than he
Yeah.
did, even though he did go there and win the Super Bowl. I still think Goff is a better QB.
He
Based
looks
on what
more
I've seen.
lax in Detroit than he did.
And
in
then I would have
LA.
never gotten rid of Von Miller. They should have fought to keep him, even though he is injury prone over there in Buffalo. I still would have kept him. I just would not trade. I would not have traded Von Miller in my opinion. But hey, I'm not a GM, so let's go ahead and get to these topics. The first one is going to be from the NBA world, which made a lot of noise. Dame Lillard is decided to take his talents elsewhere, which I am very thankful because Portland was always boring to me. But ever since Clyde Drexler and those guys back in the day, it has lost a lot of his luster, in my opinion. Now he's going to play with the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, whatever how you pronounce his name, who I think is good, but somebody on the panel think he's overrated. I don't understand that, but that is his opinion. And right now, we're going to watch a clip where Charles Barkley is making a statement about this, and he thinks that the NBA is now on notice. So let me pull this up, and we will check this out and see what Mr. Barkley has to say about it. Bum, bum, bum.
The owner. This team has been busy. So what do you make of the Phoenix Suns getting involved in this Damian Lillard trade?
Well, I'm not totally shocked. I'm shocked that he went to Milwaukee. So obviously Milwaukee should be the betting favorites now. You know, it's clear that the Suns had something was going on with DeAndre Ayton. And, you know, it goes back to that was an issue with Monty Williams and DeAndre. And now clearly it must have been something else going on in the organization. They clearly just want to get rid of him. But the big winner is the Milwaukee Bucks. And their general manager, they got a new coach. He's a young guy. I forget his name, Adrian.
Yep, Adrian Griffin. Yep.
Yeah, Adrian is man. He's got a great team to start. You know, I like what the Celtics did going out getting Porzingis, but I think it's fair to say that the Milwaukee Bucks are the favorite going into the season to win the NBA championship.
And Chuck, with that being said, what is the biggest message for Adrian Griffin, knowing that Dame was the star in Portland, Giannis is used to having the ball in his hands, late game situation. What is that message for both guys to buy into we ball, because it used to be in me ball late game situations?
Well, I think it can benefit both guys. because number one, Dame has always had to do everything by himself. So it's going to be nice for him to play with somebody. Number one, let's don't leave out Chris Middleton. So I think it's going to be beneficial to both guys. Giannis, I think the one thing he's going to have to learn to do, and I've always thought it was the one weakness of his game, he's got to learn to play without the basketball. It's going to make the game easier for him. He used to bring it up going downhill. Now, if he get out on that wing, I think he's going to get a lot more easier baskets in the full court. And in the half court, him and Dame, man, and Chris. I mean, you think about it. When they won the championship, their pick and roll was Chris Middleton and Giannis. Now you're going to have.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon
as we heard what Barkley said, do you agree or disagree with him that the Bucks are the favorites in NBA Finals at this current time?
Well, first off, I want to thank my friend Charles Barkley for mentioning me by my first name there. It's good to know that I'm still in his mind. My time in the NBA was short, but hey,
non-existent.
Yeah. No. So I mean, there's a point to be said about this, but think about what was the last big team we talked about that everybody was like, oh, they're going to win? It was the Nets. What happened there? Sometimes, and he makes a very good point, the buy into the Wii ball thing. If you can't buy into that, how in the world is it going to work for them? Now, could they? Will they? I think they got a better chance than some of the other like combos that they've had in recent years. But, yeah, I mean, they're one of the favorites. I'd be stupid not to say it, but yeah, I think this makes them a better team. I think this makes them a better qualifier to get to the finals. But man, it's a long season. Lots of stuff can happen. And until they get out there on the court and show, hey, we can work together. Now, if they go out there and they start, getting the ball to one another, working really well together. I mean, think of Pippen and Jordan. I mean, the assists and stuff that the good teams of the past had. If they can collectively come up with something like that, then yeah, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Okay, Roberto, what's your thoughts?
Oh, sorry, I was picking my tops because I only got these questions late. Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry, Daddy.
I was saying, based on what you heard Charles Barkley said about Milwaukee Bucks and Dame Lillard going from Portland to the Milwaukee with him and Giannis and Chris Middleton, do you think that makes them the prohibited favorites in the East that's going to go to the finals this year?
I'd have to think so because Lillard was more or less doing it all by himself in Portland, and to him have that backup and to even, I mean, he's a great passer as well, isn't he?
He is, and he's a great closer.
He's great he's good on defense too.
3 point, not
No?
on defense.
Sorry, I mistaken for somebody else.
3 points is almost as good as Curry. As far as the distance. I don't know about
We'll see because I don't know if they need to gain some chemistry before all this fireworks goes off. I don't know.
Believe they do.
They're gonna gel right away. But yeah, that combination is dangerous. You don't need a threesome with that combo.
You see,
Yes, sir.
now my opinion is, if you want to say they're the favorite in the West and the East,
Yeah, in the East, not
absolutely.
the NBA.
But in the NBA, it's still Denver to me. It's still Denver. You got to beat that team to be the favorite for me, and I still don't think they're good enough for Denver.
I don't have a problem with that statement because Jokic and what's his name?
The Canadian?
Yeah,
the
the Canadian. Oh my gosh.
It starts with an M. I can't think of his name. Yeah, them boys is bad. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but he has been prone to injury. So if he stays healthy, I have to agree. I'm leaning a little bit towards.
Well, he had one bad injury.
Yeah.
He was out for a while. I don't think he has many injuries. He just had one bad one that kept him out almost a season.
Murray, ain't it?
Murray, yeah. Murray.
And to me, I think Denver, because they've obviously they lost some shit. Not Denver, but the Bucks. They lost some players, right? They had to get rid of some of their defensive
They
players.
got rid of Drew Holiday,
Right.
who's
I
a
think.
Top defensive player.
prime defender and a
Yeah.
point guard.
Yeah. I think Denver is still a better team, but Dame Lillard and Giannis, they could be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
That's
that is Batman and Robin. I
Yeah.
definitely think that their main competition is going to be Boston because Boston still is pretty strong. If they can get past Boston, because I think Harden just mess up Philadelphia's
Yeah, 76ers
chemistry.
ain't gonna do nothing.
Huh?
76ers ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Harden. I never did really like his game, but now he's just like he ain't happy nowhere. So
He's
he's
just like
messing.
Russell Westbrook.
No,
Yeah.
no, and you know why he's not?
Who started shit?
Whether Russell Westbrook's on a team, he's going to give you 100% when he's on that court. James Harden's not. James Harden's come to places out of shape, with a dad bod like mine. Russell Westbrook has never come anywhere out of shape. He may give you 15 turnovers, and he may talk a lot of stuff, but when he's on that court, he's giving you 110%. Harden
I
will
give you
not.
that.
He may shoot 12%.
I give you that. If you want to say that, yeah, 100%. But you see, I think the reason why Harden's come to camp like that is because he didn't want to play for that team, right?
I agree, but that's not professional. I mean,
No,
if I get a deal with, and I'm just using this as an example, not you and Roberto, and I look at y'all productivity is not like I want it to be, but you giving me 100%, and Roberto is giving me half-ass. Guess who I'm getting rid of?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the comparison I see between Harden and Russell got his problems. I'm saying, and he's a triple double machine. And I think he's more, in my opinion, more worried about individual accomplishments more so than a championship and getting his money. And he's not the player he used to be. Well, I think athletically he hasn't lost a step, but he's lost like skill in shooting. If I was him this off season, I'd be taking at least 10 to 15,000 shots a day, trying to improve my shot because his shot is crazy. But anyway, we got anything else before we jump to the next topic? Because that's going to be football. We're going to go into the football arena. And I want to make sure the first topic, let me change my little icon so I'm going boom. There we go. Football. How devastating was it for the Jets to lose Aaron Rodgers, the bad man? And I'm going to let the main hater of the bad man go first. That'd be Nzo. How bad do you think it was for the Jets? Was it devastating? I know you really don't care, but do you think that if he was there, that they would be better and there would be an actual discussion as far as in the conference? Because now, don't like they're going nowhere. I mean, their defense is still in the top 10. I couldn't believe that, but offensive-wise, they are lacking.
No, I think Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have made a difference offensive-wise. You know what I mean? I just think that, again, I'm not going with the overrated stuff, but I mean, their offense, who do they really have, right? You know? I mean, the defense.
Quarterback can make you better now. He can make certain skill positions better.
I agree he can, right? But sometimes you can't pull that rabbit out the hat either. And I think maybe in Aaron Rodgers' younger days, he might be able to do something. But as he's older now, I think he needs more pieces around him than to be the centerpiece of a team.
Okay.
So I think they'd be in the same position.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
I have a different take, and before I get booed for saying this, I'm gonna compare this to the second 9/11 of New York as far as football terms go. 4 plays in, man, they built this team in the offseason with him literally handing them a list of these are the people I want. Now, I understand the defense. The defense was built before, but that offensive side of the ball, not only is the playbook designed around him from Hackett, who's worked with him in the past, the wide receivers and everything else was literally handpicked by him. And if you watched Hard Knocks, it was all about him.
Yeah,
it was all about him.
They were driving.
And I mean, that's how devastating it is. Is that when you lose that guy? I mean, and I'm not saying Zach Wilson would have fixed this had they just kind of kept things generically, about football and maybe made a playbook that wasn't so heavily to Brett Favre. Brett Favre's a gunslinger, so I'm sorry, not Favre, but Aaron Rodgers is a gunslinger. Brett Favre was stupid. So Aaron Rodgers is a gunslinger. Fast and loose is really kind of the idea behind his offenses. So he found people that he believed was going to help him do that. And Zach Wilson is not that quarterback. And again, I go back to the fact that I can't tell you that Zach Wilson would have been able to make this team win this year, even if they had made it more generically to both of their strengths or something like that. But when you lose a guy and you've based the whole side of the ball that gets you points on that guy and he's gone 4 plays in, I mean, how much time? I mean, he only had one game. He came and played that one game, first time ever. That's the most that they've saw. And now you got to wonder, going kind of back to what Nzo said, is he going to be there? Or did they just spend all this money, all this time to design an offense for Aaron Rodgers? And if he doesn't come back because, hey, he's older and he may not be able to come back, or maybe not come back and be able to play the way that they wanted him to play, did they just waste a year and all these trades and all these picks and all this money and basically destroy their chances for the next 5? This kind of is a reverse of what Denver did, because I really believe in this trade it was going to help them, but it's going to end up causing the same problems that Denver has right now. So I think this is really, in football terms, like a 9/11 event for New York again. And again, I don't want anybody to boo me on this. It was like watching the towers come down. It's like as soon as he was out, it's like, oh God, no. And I think that's just, you can't get past things like that.
Yeah.
Roberto, what are your thoughts, sir?
Devastating. New York Jets have never had a quarterback at this stature. They had all. I don't know. I don't know if people put Namath in the same category as Rodgers, even though he won a Super Bowl. Big deal. That's all he did. Was Namath really that good to say, hey, he's top 20? I don't think
That's all the Jets have. It's all they have.
That's all Rodgers.
Yeah, I know. No, but Rodgers is known as he got fucking accolades as the best quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. He won MVP, I don't know, 2-3 times?
No, 4.
4 times. Sorry, excuse me. Thanks for correcting me, Danny. Mm-hmm. I think it's devastating in a way, not so much so him going down, is that they got all the primetime scheduling now, and they got a kid who was afraid of lights when they hardly got any. Now they're getting all this. It's even worse. I mean, they talk about him before a shooting of 20, 30 people. They talk about this poor kid, man, deer in headlights, all this kind of stuff. And they made lots of mistakes. And when you're desperate, these things happen.
So here's a counter question.
I feel bad for them.
Here's a counter question. Do they go after Kaepernick?
They could go after Kaepernick, and if that flops, man, then what?
And you guys know my opinion of Kaepernick.
I don't think it'll hurt. Go ahead, Chris.
I don't think Kaepernick is a good quarterback. I'm not going to ever disagree with you guys. He was blacklisted. Not going to, because he absolutely was. I just don't think he was that good, and I think it would have ended up him being out of the NFL one way or another in the long run.
Is he better than the one they have now, though? That's the question.
And you saw this in our group text. I don't think it would hurt. Listen, if you can get him in form, hey, what does it hurt right now? He's going to be next to free.
Yeah,
you can sign him to a 1-year contract. He's actually finally agreeing to say, hey, I'll go to the practice team. Hey, listen, That's a win-win for everybody.
I would let him go to the practice squad based on how he looked. Cause you got to get back in the football shape. Because he's been out, like 5 years now?
Mm-hmm.
So I would let him go there. And if he looks better than that starter, I would slide him up into it because it can't hurt. And then if he don't pan out, you only lost what's the league minimum in the NFL, like $400,000? That's chump change for the NFL. I'd pay him
all the attention's on you again.
And be like, adios, and I start over because I heard on this, I wish I could find the actual article, but there's a new procedure now this doctor's coming up with, and there's a new kind of operating procedure. They're saying that if it goes through and they're performing on Aaron Rodgers and he could be back in 4 months. Now, I don't know what kind of new radical procedure this is, but if it's something that it's come to the mainstream and it's something that they can implement and they do that, technically, if they get them in the playoffs, they can make the wild card.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can do that. I don't know if I would trust it. But, these athletes, they got a whole different mindset. And if it's something they really want to play and they're that competitive, and it's something that the doctor can clear and the team will clear, let's just say this new radical operation takes. And we see Aaron Rodgers back here and make the wild card, and they just run the gauntlet.
Yeah, but you know what? Coming from a team that's done it before, and watching other teams that have done it before, I don't think it's ever worked out for an NFL team that's gone a whole season without the quarterback and then just saying, oh, well, it's Brett Favre, we're going to just throw him in there. Typically, when you have somebody winning or playing well with your team, that's the whole thing. They create a team atmosphere. They start working, and everybody starts knowing how they play. And if you just throw Aaron Rodgers in at the end of the year, I don't think that would turn out well. And especially even if they said, well, he's cleared to play, we think he can play, do you want to risk this season? Or do you want to go for everything this season, or say, you know what? We're so glad that you're able to come back. You look good. We're optimistic about this, but we're gonna see where we go the rest of this year. We're gonna keep you out. We're gonna keep you working out. We want to see, we want you to be strong, and we're gonna run at this again next season. That's what I would try to do, because I don't know if I want him out there and risk losing everything. Because if he does come back and they say he is ready, I think that's going to be the biggest positive for them this season. But then putting him out there, and let's say they go one game in the playoffs and they lose, but let's say they risk something. Let's say he gets hurt again, then you're back at square one. I don't know if I would do that. And especially if you can find a quarterback, or if Zach Wilson can come in and start figuring stuff out.
But let's say hypothetically now, since we're in this hypothetical train, let's say hypothetically that old boy comes back and he's good. He takes the Super Bowl, kind of how Nick Foles did against Carson Wentz.
Well,
what's that going to say?
Be interesting.
Well, then that brings up another issue, because then that means next year Colin Kaepernick, after a 1-year deal, because if he does come in and if he goes on the practice squad and they bring him up to the main squad, they're going to sign him to 1 year. They're not going to risk more than that. Absolutely not going to. So let's go down that hypothetical lane here. Let's say he gets them to the Super Bowl. Let's say they win the Super Bowl. Next year, then, what are you going to do? Then you got to pick. We spent all this time and money on getting Aaron Rodgers here, and fundamentally and historically, he is the better quarterback. Do we just say, thanks for coming for 4 plays and write him off? Or do you go and negotiate with Colin Kaepernick for probably a pretty darn big contract, I would say, because he probably think, I need it.
I don't think this will happen, but if Colin was to come back in and take them to the Super Bowl, they're going to sign a contract.
How long was Michael Vick out? Was it about 5 years?
I'm not sure the exact time frame, but he wasn't himself when he came back.
He wasn't, but he wasn't horrible. I don't think he was horrible. I just think he lost a little bit of a step, but he came back, and I don't think he was horrible. So
I think his skills diminished a little bit, but I think he had such a cloud over his head. The media, not even the media, it's some of these fans, these animal lovers and animal activists. They just painted such a a cloud
Yeah.
over this individual that he just. I don't even think now he's that big in media. He tried to come back, but I think people just paint that pictures such a dark picture about him, and I don't understand it because what he did wasn't right. I don't condone it, but it was animals at the end of the day, and there have been players that have beat their wives, that have murdered or have been accused of this, something more heinous than that, and they're allowed to come back and look what Brett Favre did. Took all that money from poor people who have been accused,
Well,
and he still
Ray
belongs.
Lewis, and I'm not again. Ray Lewis was found, not guilty and all that, but the situation he was in was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on that. And again, I don't disagree with Colin Kaepernick. Here's the thing: if he has written this letter, what does it hurt the Jets to say, well, what do we have to lose? Put him on the practice squad. If he starts lighting it up on the practice squad, then you bring him up and you start letting him practice next to Zach Wilson. It either puts a fire under Zach Wilson's ass, or he beats Zach Wilson out and you say, you know what, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
It don't hurt him at all, and I think that it was very devastating. Like you said, I agree with what Chris said earlier. The devastation to the Jets. I mean, they had all their heart. I mean, 4 plays. When he saw him get hurt, you could feel all the energy leave out that stadium that night. It made me sick. I didn't watch the rest of the game, not because I'm a fan of Aaron Rodgers, but just because. And now I'm saying not only because of that, but it's because even for the team I hate the most, Dallas. Even if that would have been Dallas, I would have felt bad for them, man, because they moved heaven and earth to try and get that. And everybody was excited and stuff. Now, would I have been more happy to find out that he wasn't really hurt, could come back, and Dallas going to suffer for another year? I'm going to be petty and say, yeah, I would. But I still would have felt some kind of way, even though I'm not a Dallas fan. When Dak Prescott got hurt those years ago, I felt bad for Dak. I really dislike Dak. I dislike the organization he plays for. But I don't really dislike Dak at all.
A different sport, but so people in NASCAR, people who like NASCAR, won't ever root against a driver they don't like or root for their driver to get hurt or not hurt, but in a wreck. They don't do that because they're worried that their driver will get in a wreck if they support that. So you never want to see, especially the stars of the NFL. Listen, that's what makes the NFL great. You get to see good games. That's what brings the top 10 plays out on ESPN and stuff. It's the good players. You don't want to see them go down.
That's correct. I agree.
Yes, you do.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you do. Depending on who the player is, absolutely 100%. Whenever Kobe went down in the playoffs and they were playing the Spurs, I was happy.
Oh, my God.
100%.
See, as much as I hate Mike Tomlin, I don't want to see him get hurt or nothing. I don't want to see the man get hurt.
Well, you don't want to see Mike Tomlin get hurt because he ain't on the court. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't want to see him get fired.
But fucking Kobe is Shaq? Oh, yeah, go down.
No, I don't want to see him get fired. I want to see him out. Mike Tomlin.
No, I'm saying who would I like to see in the NFL right now get hurt? Any player that you guys have on your team?
Wow.
Yeah, I want them to go out. 100%.
Wow. Keep that energy for Zaza Pachulia. Negative.
100%.
The goon. No, thank you. Next question. This goes to the top 5 defenses this season. I looked this up like Wednesday, so it may have changed, but I looked it up Wednesday on ESPN. The top 5 defenses this season are the Patriots, the Jets, the Cowboys, Eagles, and the 49ers. Do you think this list is accurate? And I'm going to pull up this right here, and I think this list is more accurate. What I'm about to pull up. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. I believe that the Cowboys are number 5. New England Patriots are number 4. The Jets are at number 3. The Browns are number 2. And 49ers are number 1. What do y'all believe? I believe what I have listed here on the question, or currently right here on this particular website, which is on the NFL website.
I never saw New England's defense to say anything, but based on what I saw, I think I would put it Dallas, San Fran, Cleveland. What are the other two? New England. Who's the other one?
Eagles.
The Eagles
and
and then New England. Oh, the Jets.
You gonna put San Francisco at number 4?
Number 2.
Oh, okay.
I put Dallas at number 1.
I can't put Dallas at 1 after that debacle they did with the Cardinals.
Well, it was one game. It's one game, Danny.
Yeah.
What they have on defense and how I seen them play, man, that's scary fun.
But can you be a all-world top defense and lose that badly? What was the score?
Called a hiccup. Hiccup.
I know Diggs is an integral part of the defense, but he shouldn't drop him back that much. I don't think they get a good. I think they pass rush.
You know what?
Is awesome. I don't think they're.
Yeah, but
I don't think they played bad, Danny. I think they underestimated the Cardinals.
I don't think they're good against a run. They're not good against a run. That's why I think this Sunday, I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to run the ball down their throat.
We'll see.
Ezekiel Elliott.
I sure do.
Oh,
We'll see.
no.
I
If
guarantee
this guy doesn't have an
Belichick-
O-line, he can't do jack.
I guarantee you, Belichick is going to take that same recipe the Cardinals did and try to implement against Dallas.
They probably
Connor's a better running back right now than Elliott.
Yeah, Elliott.
I ain't disputing that. I'm just saying Elliott is motivated. He's pissed off because he got traded from Dallas. And I guarantee you he's going to have a good game tomorrow.
Motivated
New England
and
O-line
being
is
able
like.
to do it is two different things. You can motivate you want to.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Next
Absolutely
Saturday,
right.
I'll say I'm right or either I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna say I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to say, Danny, eat your Wheaties.
You'll see.
I think I'll be right there with you, Roberto.
You know,
think?
you bring the milk, I'll bring the cereal.
Okay. What do you
Because
think, Chris? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, because I know if this was the year that Bell got traded, you would have been all up on it. Like, yeah, Bell's going to run all over the Steelers. Yeah. I know that. And he probably wouldn't have. And I think
How many times have you seen a player got traded or something? And I'm not saying all the time, but when they play the person that got rid of them, they have a crazy game.
100%.
Just that one game. I ain't saying he's going to be all pro this season, but I think he's going to get up and get motivated against Dallas. I could be wrong, and I'll say I'm wrong if he doesn't. But I think tomorrow he's gonna have a good game.
At the same time, they could know his weaknesses because they practice with him all the time. And they saw his decline. And they know
he
what
could be
can and
telling them
can't
their
do.
weaknesses too.
You see, for me, it's his decline. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
his decline. That's
he
what I
hasn't done nothing since he got that big contract. Nothing. And I think it's going to be more of the same.
And he didn't have his original O-line.
And Belichick's probably going to be down so much that they're going to end up having to pass the ball and can't go against the run. So we'll see about that one too.
Yeah. What you think, Chris?
I can't disagree.
Well, he's no Tyreek
I think-
Hill, you know.
What?
You said he's no Tyreek Hill, huh?
Yeah. I can't disagree with the top 5 defenses. I mean, I think as the season plays out, 1 or 2 of them might drop out. But right now, for sure, yeah, these guys. This is pretty much the list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
I think to me Dallas dropped a spot or 2 with that display against Cardinals.
So-
It could be like what Roberto said. It could be a hiccup. I know they lost an integral part, and some people say he's like the emotional cheerleader and the driving force behind the defense. I don't know. Maybe he is. I thought it was Parsons. That's what I always thought was the leader. But we'll see this. We'll see tomorrow whether or not it was a fluke or whether or not they got their head on straight. Because a lot of people don't have faith in the offense. A lot of people don't have faith in McCarthy play calling. So all that are going to play tomorrow. Go ahead, Nzo.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Not only me.
I'm gonna go ahead and slide this one in here. This is something else. This was on Undisputed yesterday, and I want to play the clip real quick, and y'all tell me what you think about it.
0-2 for the first time since, guess when, 2001. Now Tua is 5-0 against Belichick. Keyshawn, is Belichick's legacy getting tarnished, or better still, more to the point, is he now getting exposed?
Tarnished, exposed. I wouldn't necessarily say either, because this is different teams that he's had, right? And when you go back in the beginning stages of his New England Patriot career, he had some really established borderline Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame players on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, in his coaching career at the New England Patriots, he's had 2 Hall of Famers, Gronkowski and Tom Brady, right?
Moss.
He's yet to find that along the way. Along the way, he's also lost countless people out of the scouting department to go on to become general managers, countless coaches to go on to become head coaches or coordinators to a degree. Now, are there people out there that want to choose sides between Belichick and Tom? I'm not one of them. I'm a guy who believes that Tom Brady helped Belichick, Belichick helped Tom Brady. He's not going to find another Tom Brady, no matter what.
Now, I'm going to stop here at this point, discuss this point. Y'all think that's a true statement, that they both help each other equally, or was it more one than the other? Skip says it's 75% Tom Brady helped Belichick, 25% that Belichick had helped Tom Brady. I don't think it's that much, and I'm going on this premise. No matter how good of a carpenter you are, no matter how good of a policeman you are, no matter how good of a manager you are, if you don't have the right people, no matter how great your talent is, you're not going to be successful. You got to have the right people around you. You got to have the ability to pick those people. Everything has to be working. If one integral part of the process isn't working, it could hurt your greatness. Sometimes you can overcome certain spots of it, but for the most part, if you just don't have the ingredients to make a cake, you ain't going to make a cake.
I agree, 100%. So I'm not going to sit here and say, but I think the legacy, it is on both of them, right? Because, who taught Brady how to be able to play football the way he does, to read the defenses, you know what I mean? To know where to pass the ball and stuff like that. It's a coach that teaches you all them. He may have had it in him, but it's the coach that makes him make those right decisions, teach him which decisions to make and stuff like that. So for me, I believe they're both as equal as to each other's success. I think it's 50.
What I think is, if you look at when Brady was with Belichick, anybody that became relevant was based on the combination of those two, because he didn't really have any superstars on his team. He made people superstars that other teams wanted them after, and then they were duds.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to give some credit. Team. Yeah, I think Belichick just was like 3M. He didn't make it; he made it better.
Mm-hmm.
And the combination of the two was unstoppable.
I agree.
Chris?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think Belichick was just as integral to the Patriots when Tom Brady was on it as Tom Brady was to the team. I think as time went on, when things were good, because I think there at the end, I don't think they were so good between Kraft and Brady and Belichick. I don't really think it was, but when it was good, I think they were able to, I don't know, you can see it in quarterbacks and coaches. When they're sitting there talking it out, like even when you have a bad drive, when that quarterback goes back and they're not frustrated, they're not throwing their helmet down or something, but they go to the quarterback's coach or they go to the head coach and they're like, hey, I saw this is why this play didn't work. And so sometimes they'll switch their ideas. And I think that's why teams like Belichick back then, like Kansas City Chiefs and Reed, while that second half of the game is typically a better half, it's because they start learning. And when you have a quarterback that talks with your head coach and works well, that's a hard thing to beat. And so, yeah, I don't think it was all one or the other. I think it was a very even, they worked really well together.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna finish some more of this. I want to hear some more of what they said.
Go ahead.
I
Mac
really
Jones
like
looks
Keyshawn.
like, walk like, long. Doesn't matter. He's never going to be Tom Brady.
Agreed.
It is a very difficult situation.
Yep.
The conference, along with the division, or let me say it this way, the division along with the conference has caught up to the New England Patriots. The Miami Dolphins was a wreck when Tom Brady and them was running. The New York Jets, a wreck. The Buffalo Bills, a wreck. They can count every single year of winning that division. And maybe seeing Pittsburgh or maybe seeing Indianapolis.
Yep.
And that was pretty much it.
Yep.
That's not the case now. Things have gotten difficult and harder than they were in the past. But it doesn't mean that he's any less of a coach because he hasn't been able to get into the playoffs and win at a long stretch period of time like he did with Tom. Makes him because 5 years ago, he just went into the damn Super Bowl defensively and beat the Rams. I think it was 5 years ago.
Yep.
It beat the Rams defensively. Not Tom. Tommy did. He was there, but it was the defense. He had to throw to Gronk, whatever.
He made a few throws.
But you know what I'm saying. It was all about the defense. So I just can't all of a sudden diminish who he is and what he's been to the New England Patriots organization because it happened.
I'm sorry. I was not a Keyshawn Johnson fan until he went on Undisputed. I did not realize his brother had the knowledge and to articulate what his points are. And to me, he is kicking Skip's butt on these arguments. He is really good.
He's good.
Kudos.
I like the team that Skip has together. I like them.
Yeah.
Little Wayne they could do without him.
That's Lil Wayne over there?
No. That's Richard Sherman.
Okay, I was going to say Lil Wayne looked like Sherman.
I'm going to tell you, when they're talking NBA, Rachel, I can't think of her last name.
Rachel Nichols, yeah.
Man, Rachel Nichols, man, she be bringing it, boy.
Yeah,
she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, it's a good team he has together. I think Richard Sherman is the weakest link, to be honest with you. But I think it's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Hasn't been great the last several years.
Yeah, but you gotta, obviously I don't think he's being exposed. I just don't think they have the talent. I don't think they have the talent. I think the rest of the division has caught up to them and passed them in terms of talent. I mean, you talk about the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, and even the Jets. If they had Aaron, you'd say they were a better team. Now it's debatable. But I would say this. I'd say there are opportunities where if he had success, people would say the opposite. People would be like, this is why he's a great coach. This is why, because even when Tom's not here, he's able to make wine out of water. He's able to make whatever it is shake. Now his defense has still been good since Tom left. They're 4th in points allowed. They're 7th in net total yards. They're 3rd in takeaways since Tom left. So they've still been really good on defense, even with like you said, the departures in the scouting department, the coaches leaving. They went through Matt Patricia. They had a bunch of guys
Judge, Matt Patricia. Which guy?
There's been a couple. All of them have left.
Smoke weed, brother.
But I think that at the same time, you gotta say, hey, they're 0-2, and they're 0-2 at home for the first time since 1975. At Gillette, they've not lost 2 in a row to start the season since 1975. So you got to start.
I'm not letting him off the hook at all.
Richard Sherman made a good point, and I think you're going to say it later on, that if Tom Brady would have went to Tampa Bay and not have won that Super Bowl, then they've been saying the same thing. If he hadn't been successful, look, 100%. Tom can't do it without Brady. Tom can't do it without Belichick. Now because Belichick isn't as successful without Brady, now the needle tends to move that way, that Brady carried Belichick. I don't think that's the case.
I agree, because I agree with you, Danny, because once you have, like, regardless what Chris thinks about Brady is a generation type of quarterback. You don't get a quarterback like that forever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy to get a quarterback like that. So for you to say because you're not doing as well because you don't have that piece, I think it's dumb. I think it's really dumb.
Yeah, I think with Belichick, it's just a matter of it's a matter of looking for the right quarterback for him. I think, because again, that goes back to, like, I don't know. I mean, think of how many number one Heisman picks have been a bust.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I mean, again, okay, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady, but he was drafted in what round? And who thought he would ever do what he did? No one. And so, I mean, again, my opinion of Brady aside, the fact of the matter is that, you know, there's a quarterback out there I think that can benefit from Belichick, and that Belichick can benefit from. Where he is, when will he get him? I don't know. But I don't think that he's at the end of the line right now.
Right. Because Belichick doesn't need a quarterback that's as good as Brady. Just needs a really good quarterback. You know what I mean? Then
he needs a smart quarterback.
Yeah.
A smart quarterback that will listen.
I think if he's to take, what's the quarterback for 49ers? Purdy?
Purdy.
I think Purdy could fit into that. Purdy is not a great quarterback, but he's a systematic quarterback based on what I've seen.
Yeah. I think that'd be really good for them.
Yep. Let's keep on going.
But what I'm saying is I'm not going to all of a sudden diminish his success rate that he's had in New England because they've struggled of late. I'm just not going to, I can't. 5 years ago, they was 5 years and winning a Super Bowl. You get another 10 years on your contract. That's just the reality of it.
Okay, I'm going to give you this. And I know you know Bill, you like Bill. I got it.
You don't get a fire in your belly with a boring breakfast.
Yeah,
light that sucker up.
You need to get an
Again, when you get monetized, pause it real quick, please.
This game is Bill Belichick.
This is for YouTube. If you're listening to YouTube, when you get monetized, you should get ad-free YouTube for free.
Facts.
Because we don't make enough money off of this anyways. So spread the wealth that you make off of. Spread the wealth that you guys get from all the ads that we don't see the money from, and just give us ad-free YouTube, please. That's all I'm asking for. That's nothing.
Someone's listening.
That is 1,000%.
I hope so.
Gospel,
I hope so.
From your mouth to the CEO of YouTube.
Facts.
All right, you can continue. Sorry.
I give you that. Not the greatest head coach, not certainly the greatest GM, because he's been his own GM from the start. And in that, he has defeated himself when he sits in that chair, right? Because he's undone himself with his draft.
I think
I can make a strong case, though, that in the end, Brady made Belichick, that he's at least 75% of the credit. Okay, look at Bill without Tom Brady.
Talk about it.
In Cleveland, he was 30-34 and he got fired.
You better be careful. Next he'll be saying that Keyshawn is jealous of Brady. You better be careful.
You know?
One for 0-2 start is because what happened in 2001, Drew Bledsoe got hurt against the Jets.
As you know, Danny, you won't get copyright. If you keep pausing it and then talking over it, they won't copyright you.
All right.
Keep doing that.
Lewis, you know the whole thing. And out of heaven fell the 6th-round pick right into their lap, and the rest is big-time Super Bowl history. So I look at Bill without Tom. He's 60-74 as
Pause
a
this for a second. I'll say the same thing that I just heard the other day on a local radio station, local sports talk. One of the guys I know, he brought this up really poignantly. I think Brady benefited from being behind Bledsoe.
He did.
I think Bledsoe,
absolutely.
And just like Patrick Mahomes benefited from being behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith and Bledsoe were not.
For a while, Dak benefit being behind Romo.
Yeah. They weren't necessarily world beater quarterbacks. They were just smart quarterbacks that knew what they were doing. And all it takes is to take that rough edge off of a newbie and polish them up a little bit, and then their smarts take over, and they start hearing from this guy that, and Patrick has mentioned this several times in different things about how when Alex Smith would throw an interception, he'd come back, sit down next to Patrick, and he'd go you know what? He said, if I got that play again, I'd make that play. He said, he basically instilled in him, he said, listen, just because you throw an interception doesn't mean you get afraid to throw the next one just because those guys are matched up again. And things like that shape players like Mahomes and Brady and Steve Young, who sat behind
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. All of these things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just like that, what's the quarterback for Green Bay now? That cat's gonna be bad.
Oh yeah, no.
I can't think of his name.
Love.
Yeah,
Man,
Jordan Love.
looking good, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had a rough game this past week, but yeah, no, I think he'll do pretty darn good. But yeah, I think that's a big thing though. And so what Skip's saying here, I understand why he's saying it. No,
Skip's saying
I think
too,
Brady.
He's biased.
I know.
Biased to Brady.
100%.
He like Brady can't do no wrong, and that's not true.
I know.
Skip knows what he's talking about. I can't sit here and say that he doesn't, but he is when he gets on you for whatever negative thing, whatever. I mean, he digs in and he crossed the line with Shannon, and I just hope he don't cross the line with these fellas right here, because he picks all the topics, and he always picks these Brady topics, these Dallas topics, LeBron topics. I mean, it's like a repetitive spinning wheel, and I just hope that.
Well, from what I heard,
go ahead.
From what I heard is that he's not gonna be like as confrontational as he was with Shannon. So I think he wants to change the show a little bit more.
No, he better not, because whether he want to admit it or not, Shannon took
put hands on him.
Yeah, he took a lot of the audience too. Shannon took a lot of the audience.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Going back to the Belichick Brady thing, though, I think the key here is I think it was the perfect storm. It was lightning in a bottle. As soon as they called Brady in to be the starter or to start because Bledsoe being hurt, I think it just worked.
It just clicked.
Yeah,
and you can't deny that. I mean, and it's not fair to Brady to say it was all Belichick, and it's not fair to Belichick to say it was all Brady. What that percentage is, I don't know, but I don't really think. And I've heard a lot about it on here. That a lot of people just want to give it to Brady, like, oh, it was all Brady. No, somebody had to make those plays. Somebody had to call those plays. On it, somebody had to come up with the schemes.
If I had to put a percentage on it, I would say 55 Brady, 45 Belichick. Only for the reason that Brady went somewhere else and won, and Belichick hasn't. If they both would have won, I would have said 50-50.
I don't disagree.
Yep.
I'll give you that.
Terrible, but it ain't Tom. So you have to look at Tom's impact as the leader in the locker room and the clutch player that he was to win 6 Super Bowls for Belichick with game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime.
He won 11 games with Matt Castle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, he did.
Yeah, was it 11? Was it 10? One of them.
I think it was 11.
Yeah, and they missed the playoffs.
But they didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with them missing the playoffs, but they won 11 games.
No question.
I just look. The Tom Brady argument is always going to be there. But as I said before, it's even. You can't say 75% Tom.
Not only did he win 10 or 11 games with Matt Castle, they made them think that Matt Castle was the next Brady, and he got a huge deal the next year.
Kansas City, no?
Yeah, don't remind me.
They did the same thing with Garoppolo pretty much, too.
Yeah, they did.
They did that with another receiver, too.
Yeah.
From New England. Everybody was getting big money out of New England, but it was the combination of Belichick and Brady that made these guys flourish. You go to another system, they can't make you shine like these two did.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. They are the ultimate erasers, buddy. They can erase away some bad habits, bad trends.
And you know how Belichick rolls. If you're a superstar, he don't care. You don't follow his system. He ships you out.
Fact. I know another coach like that.
Go ahead.
I know another.
Yeah, we know who you're talking about, Nzo. No names mentioned. We know you're talking about. Black and yellow, yes.
Bill, because
when
you think about it, a lot of those wins early in Tom's career was coming from different places. It was not just solely Tom Brady.
Give you the first Super Bowl.
I'm talking about the win, not even the Super Bowl. I'm talking about W's in general.
What I'm just going to say is you just got to judge both of them, because people were judging Tom when he left, too. Mm-hmm. The difference is Tom won.
He won.
That's the difference. Yeah, you can say what you want. If Tom didn't win one after he left, they'd be like, you see, they needed each other.
Hold on a minute,
they
Danny.
need each other.
The years before Tom left, they forget how he was fucking just pedestrian for the 2 years.
Yeah.
He sucked, and they're saying, "Oh, he has nobody. He has nobody."
And you know
and then
why?
he goes to Tampa Bay, and then he has like Evans, who's a stud.
Yep. It's the same thing Belichick is going through now. Neither one of them had the pieces they had prior.
That's right.
Tom Brady recognized it and said, "Hey, I'm getting up out of here."
Yep.
Partly because Belichick was like shopping for him. Belichick was like, "You ain't what you used to be, so I'm going to get somebody else." And they pissed him off. Robert Kraft pissed him off when he sided with Brady versus Belichick. And Belichick like, look, and I'll use an analogy. I've been buying the groceries for all these years, bringing home the groceries, cooking up a fabulous dinner, and serving it to you. And now, because I want to try a different protein, you looking at me like I'm crazy?
For real.
And I don't think they really even bounced back from that. So.
All I'll say about what they just said there about Brady went and won. Okay, and I know you guys are going to laugh at me for saying this, but let's be honest. Most of the Kansas City Chiefs front line on their O-line, just listen to me. We had 3 starting and backup O-line people out. And combined with pressure and zone, it threw this offense for a loop. I don't think it was as much Brady as it was other things of Tampa Bay that caused it. Now, Brady did what he needed to do. But I think most of that was just the ability to keep us from scoring. That had nothing to do with Brady. So, yeah, he won. But I think that there were other factors because now Patrick Mahomes is so much better against the zone. Our O-line's fine, things like that. But so, I mean, the fact that they're going to give it to Brady as that's why they won. No, that's not why they won. They won more on the defensive side. Yeah. And when you give it back to Brady and Brady went down and he scored. But it was because of the defense that the opportunities came to him. It wasn't like he had to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes with 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So their win was not predicated on what Brady could do.
How did I pull up if I want to do a what you call it? It used to show me that.
What's that?
If I want to do a poll, it don't show me that option.
A poll? Go into your chat on YouTube, and down at the bottom you should see it.
I don't see it. That's what I'm saying. I hadn't seen that in a while on mine.
I don't know because I can't look because I'm not on mine. That's weird. You should be able to.
You have to. It's hidden though. Share your screen, Donnie, of the YouTube page.
Looks like a lot of things are working over here, D.
Okay, go to your YouTube page, because you got to do it on the YouTube channel.
I gotta pull up another. Okay. At my studio or my actual channel?
No, your actual channel.
Yeah, the video that we're doing right now, the video stream.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
And then on the bottom of the chat, you just create the poll there.
Ooh.
I don't see it.
Super chat.
Oh, right there. Okay, I got you. I still don't see it.
Share that screen because you're still sharing your studio screen.
No, he's sharing the YouTube.
Was he? I didn't see that.
Yeah. Go back to that real quick. right, click on it. Click on that poll thing again. All right, click on it. Oh, that's just says historical. Click on that poll thing again.
What is it? I don't know
Oh, hit the plus symbol really quick. Click on it. Oh, that's just says historical. Right there, start a poll thing again. Oh, hit the plus symbol really quick. Click on it. Oh, that's just says historical. Right there, start a poll thing again. Oh, hit the plus symbol really quick. Okay, take the stream off.
Yeah, because there's an echo.
Chris
You know
talking
what-
with himself.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, I don't need to hear myself with 50 people at one time. I'm good enough with just one of me because I'm perfect.
I didn't actually know you could do the poll through StreamYard.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do the poll through StreamYard.
You can now?
Yeah.
That's what
When did that start?
That's what I'm about to do now. Whenever I do it,
Yeah.
I'm about to start the next question. Like, what is your top three?
Okay.
Well, question 4 is the top
That
5
must be a new
QBs
thing.
so far this season by QBR. Do you agree? Number 5 is Mahomes. His QBR is 69.2. Golf QBR, he's at number 4, is 70%. Herbert is at 3rd with 74.7%. Purdy is at 2 with 78.8%. And Tua is wow. He is at 82.9% for the season QBR. Do you agree with those QBRs?
Absolutely, 100%. Tua's been killing it. Fucking Tua. Can't believe I didn't take him. I took fucking Burrow. I don't know what the hell made me take Burrow, but I took Burrow and Tua was there. Yeah, Tua's. I think Tua's.
Until let's be realistic. We didn't know how much this MMA really helped Tua survive a fucking sack. So I didn't want to take this guy. He gets hit. Ends up like what's his name? Rodgers. You lose your top quarterback first game of the year. I wasn't taking that chance only because I was worried about he's going to get a hit and disappear. You know.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
I still don't think it's. I don't know. We'll see. That's. Let me go to the. Let me see here.
We know why you see Chris, because Tyreek Hill's over there.
It has nothing to do with it.
Probably gonna get a shitload.
You guys are just gonna sit there. Well, whatever. I think he's gonna end up hurt again as usual.
See, here we go. Gatorade. You know, I get it. I was mad when Kawhi left too. You know.
I'm not. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Goff, I think will fall out. Herbert's normally up there. I think I think Tua's going to end up probably in the top 5. Purdy, man, I think Purdy, it's just consistency. But, man, they can't lose anything on that team. If he loses McCaffrey or something like that, it's over. I think he falls out. So I'm going to say Purdy's probably not going to stay up there very long.
I agree.
Mahomes, I think, will get better and better. I don't know if he'll be number 1 at the end of the year.
What was that, Roberto?
I said, "Oh no, really?"
With Purdy?
No, he's bigging up a Kansas City player.
Oh.
I can't, I'm just making a joke there because I can't really say anything about that. Obviously, he's going to get better.
Yeah,
I can't argue with you there, Chris. I just gave you a Kansas City shot.
Read this quick super chat from Major. What's up, man? D Major. G Major, from earlier. Lions have a good chance of winning the North. If they win one playoff game, I'll be happy. Improvement got to be realistic. Bro, I think they're going to make it, bro. They looking pretty tough
I like
to me.
them.
I could be wrong, but they believe in it. They believing in that magic. They believing in that locker room. They believing in that coach. So, hey, when you got belief, sometimes that can make up for shortcomings, bro.
Yeah.
They played their
who else believed in everything? The Jets.
What about
the Jets had everything
they had Aaron
in one person. I think that Detroit is a team participation. Yes. The Jets was just an individual, like a genie. They rubbed the glass. He came out. He didn't even give him one wish.
Okay, so of this top 5, I'm going to say of those, Purdy and Goff are the most likely to drop off of it. Because right now, all of those numbers are like I think the 78.8 is way too high for Purdy. I think it'll go down. come on, the guy I think they said he hasn't lost a regular season game yet. He's going to lose a regular season game. And I think it's just a matter of time before it gets figured out. And also, again, a lot of stuff is dependent on McCaffrey. If McCaffrey gets hurt, which they use him a ton, that
they have a lot
of
weapons. They have a lot of weapons, and these guys get nothing but yak yards. So all he has to do is throw a little 9-yard pass, and boom, boom, boom. Deebo Samuels, yeah, baby.
Yeah, Deebo Samuels, boy, he runs hard for a receiver, and somebody catching the right way, it's going to be lights out.
Yeah,
but I
think
my fantasy.
I think Goff and Purdy are the most likely to fall off on that list. I think at the end of the year, depending on how Tua fares, because listen, I understand. I don't disagree with what Roberto's saying about the MMA training or the jiu-jitsu training. You get him in the wrong situation, that goes out the window because, and again, he has been prone to literally the blind side hit. If he gets blindsided,
you think it's because he's a lefty?
That has a lot to do with it, I think. But I think if he takes a blindside hit, that's when we're going to start realizing if he's better or not. And again, it depends on things like Tyreek Hill. If Tyreek Hill stays healthy, okay, great. But coming from a team that relied a lot on that flash, man, it doesn't last. I think that I don't know. I watched that and I think it
looks very similar to another team I recall seeing doing that kind of stuff.
But I still think it's fool's gold. I know, but I think it's fool's gold because we saw it here that Tyreek Hill was injury prone because he's like an excited puppy. He's really just like an excited puppy, and that's
talking about the play calling that this coach is making with these tosses to the running back when you think it's I don't know, man. I saw some plays Miami pulled off, and I was like, "What? Damn! Nobody's doing that." Maybe you're right, Chris. It's just the defense will eventually catch on to that, and those little trickeries won't work. But now they are just like when they did for Kansas City. That was fucking pay for view.
I think
I'm going to say this. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think
go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
I have a delay, so I'm sorry. I think that Tua will be in the top 5. And I believe Mahomes is. I think Burrow, if they can get him healthy, will come back up. I'm surprised Josh Allen isn't there yet.
He's going to climb up.
Exactly. So that's why I say of that group, Purdy and Goff are the most likely to fall off.
I'm going to make this statement, and I'm going to put this disclaimer out, and it's towards Chris. And I'm not coming from you from a smart ass. I know usually I do, but this is not smart ass. This is serious. I believe that since Tyreek Hill left, that is sticking in your craw because I never remember you have this negative criticism that you have on him now. I never remember that when he was on your team.
It's different. Well, no, listen. So the way that I handled it when he was on the team was I always worried about him getting hurt because he was an integral part of our offense. So that is now going to come across as criticism. So you don't necessarily talk about the parts of your teams that you're like, oh, crap, because he got hurt. Sometimes he pop right back up, but I think he played hurt more often than he played totally healthy. And then there were times when he get hurt and you're sitting there going like, great, because that's a threat. And that's what I'm saying is that he is a threat. And Tua is enough of a quarterback that makes it a threat. If you lose that, these numbers change. So as long as he can stay healthy, which he wasn't last year, he wasn't the year before with Kansas City, he wasn't the year before that with Kansas City, because he misses about 2 to 3 games a year. And then Tua How many games was he out last year? These are factors you have to think about it. And until it's proven, they go throughout this whole season and they both stay completely healthy. Or let me rephrase it, NFL healthy, which means, you play with your bumps and bruises, my knee hurts, things like that.
You say 80% or higher.
Exactly.
Right.
If that stays the case, then these numbers will probably stay pretty true. But I don't buy into that yet because I haven't seen it from either one of them yet.
I think other than Herbert, Tua got the strongest arm and most accurate. Those two are the most accurate out of the five, in my opinion.
I don't buy into the accuracy of Tua.
Herbert got a cannon, boy.
You don't buy into accuracy, Chris? Why not?
I kind of seen it.
He seems pretty accurate to me, brother, even when he was Alabama days.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't buy into it.
I watch a lot of Tua.
I don't watch a lot of that, so I don't know. Maybe
in Alabama, he was pretty accurate.
And I don't see receivers stopping to catch his passes. They're catching his passes on the fly.
Stride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're usually
I'm just saying, if they continue to stay healthy,
you guys forget about Waddle.
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Dolphins will keep those numbers.
For years, I thought Miami was a joke. I don't anymore.
You remember last year, though, that I told you that Tyreek Hill wasn't going to have a certain amount of touchdowns? And you guys argued with me about it, and I used these same points that I said, it's not that he can't do it, it's just he's not going to because he doesn't stay healthy and stuff. And that's the same thing I go with now. It's like
I don't see that this year, though. I would not. If I was you, I wouldn't make that bet this year.
I didn't, but I'm not saying what I would put it at.
Because what I would say is that it was a learning curve last year. It was a big difference when you got somebody like Patrick Mahomes that you played with your whole career. Then you got to go to somebody else, learn a different scheme. You got to learn each other timing. We take that for granted, the relationship between the quarterback and the receiver. But they have to throw to each other and talk to each other and say, look, I like it here. I like it at this spot. I like it at that spot. Mm-hmm. The average fan, and I'm going to say I'm the average fan. I don't get into it like I should. But a lot of times we forget that because we see them play such a high level at other teams. Then they go to someone else. We expect for that to instantly translate over in some cases, not all cases. And when it doesn't, then we say it's on a decline, kind of like how we just said.
So
earlier.
how many touchdowns is Tyreek Hill going to end up with this year?
I think he had double digits. He didn't have that last year.
I think he
had 9 last year. He had 10 the year before.
This is his second year with him,
right?
What was that, Nzo?
He already has 3 now, right?
I think he got more
4.
than that.
4?
He has 4.
I think Tyreek Hill will have somewhere between 12 to 15 touchdowns this year.
I might go up to 11. I'd say the over-under for me would be 11.
I think he had 12 to 15 in the regular season. If they go to the Super Bowl, he's going to have more than that.
That team isn't going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Chris would hate that shit.
No,
I hate you.
No.
What was really suck?
Because Tyreek Hill is the reason why they would win, or even go.
No, I'm just saying what would suck. I think in your mind, if Miami was to face Kansas City and beat them, you would be miserable for a few days.
And Tyreek was the MVP.
If Tyreek was the MVP, you'd be like,
Well, they're going to face each other in week 6 or 7.
It's going to be interesting because, like I said earlier, and y'all saying that you think was Ezekiel Elliott's decline. When you play your person that you felt did you wrong, your team that did you wrong, you get up for that.
You could try it again, Danny. We'll see.
I think Tyreek Hill is going to get up for that Kansas City game the same way I think Mahomes is going to get up.
Tyreek Hill was not on a decline when he left. That's the difference.
I know.
Tell him, Nzo.
But sometimes, guess what? Sometimes, remember name Adrian Peterson that had that devastating injury, but he came back and won MVP, something that had hardly ever been done. I'm not saying you can sustain that. The same argument you made too, Roberto. I'm using against you now. You said that last year Tom Brady was at the Patriots. He looked like crap. Then he went over to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl. I'm saying sometimes you can mention
the whole story.
Sometimes you can dig into that tank though. The same way Peyton Manning. He looked like crap when he won that Super Bowl. He had just enough tank in the gas, not to look pretty, but just to get the things done. The defense got him through that, but he was there trying to do what he could do. I'm saying in some cases, some instances, you can pull that one game out your ass. I ain't saying you can sustain it. I do not believe Zeke
I'm willing to put money down. I don't know if it's illegal on YouTube, but I'll put some money down, Danny, that Ezekiel Elliott will not have more than 60 yards in that game.
Ooh, what, 20 jelly beans?
I'll take 20 jelly beans on that.
Okay.
I think he have a touchdown in 80 yards.
Ooh.
You don't even have to throw the 80 in there or the touchdown. He just has to have more than 60.
More than 60.
No,
Okay.
60 combined or just rushing yards?
Rushing yards.
Okay.
You don't think he have 60 rushing yards tomorrow?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll take that.
They're playing Dallas, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go to the next thing, which is, anybody have anything else to say about the QBR?
No.
All right. First thing, ranking. We're going to rank our top 3 QBs of all time. Top 3 QBs of all time, starting from 3, going to 2, then to 1. I'll go ahead and start it off. I said number 3 was Peyton Manning in my book. Number 2 was Joe Montana, and number 1 is Tom Brady.
I'll go next because I have the same quarterbacks, but number 3 is Number 3 is Joe Montana. Number 2 is Peyton Manning, and number 1 is Tom Brady.
All right, Roberto.
I got Pat Mahomes as number 3.
Okay.
I got Joe Montana as number 2, and I got Tom Brady as number 1.
Wow, you got somebody that's still playing. Okay. All right, Mr. Knight. This should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know who ain't going to be on the top 3. You muted, Chris, if you're still there.
He ran for this one.
It's
going to be a little biased.
Christopher Knight, step to the mic.
I'm not giving my quarterbacks because these guys are going to go all over on me. You know what I mean?
You guys are going to hate me. A good notable mention was Peyton Manning.
I promise.
Because this guy is a genius.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
I put the questions in the chat for those of you still watching. Y'all can put them in there if you want to.
Hey, Danny?
Sorry about that.
Brady's not in his top 3.
Oh, I know he ain't.
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay.
Your top 3.
All right. My top 3. Starting with number 3, Roger Staubach, Johnny Unitas, and then Joe Montana.
Wow. I don't think I ain't ever seen a game of Johnny Unitas, so I can't even
Me either.
critique him.
I watched a lot of NFL films back in the day.
Yeah. Chris just said, who can I put on here that's not Tom Brady? Johnny Unitas.
Hey, guys, you know I've said this before. Tom Brady's in the top 10, but he's not in the top 5. I've always said that.
Wow. You have? You always been on that stuff? Mm-hmm. Hey, man. First time having a trouble, man, is admit that you got a problem. You got a drinking problem.
Uh-huh.
We gonna help you. We gonna help you.
Uh-huh.
I'll sponsor you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I won't be calling you in the middle of the night asking how do I accept Brady as my top 3.
You need to. You damn sure need to.
I don't need to do shit when it comes to Tom Brady.
Rank your 3 best running backs of all time. 3 best running backs. We're gonna start with Roberto.
Number 3, Jim Brown.
Ooh, yeah.
Number 2, Mr. Payton, Walter Payton.
Ooh.
And number 1 for me is the man who never got a chance to finish, Mr. Sanders.
Yep.
I'm not mad at that list. Chris Knight, what are your 3?
Peyton and Brown were really good. I wanted to put them on there, but my 3 are Marcus Allen, Emmitt Smith, and Barry Sanders.
Marcus Allen. I wonder why, because he ended up as playing a Chief, huh?
No, actually, I'll tell you what.
Like when he was a Raider?
No, I did not, and that's the thing, because he always was a pain in the ass.
He always ran over y'all when he was a Raider.
Exactly, that's my point. So
listen, he heard us too, Daddy. He heard us too.
When he came here, yes, I was absolutely, but yes.
He hurt us hard.
I have to say that it's more when he wasn't on our team because we did the teams. My dad used to say that man never, ever got pushed backwards. He was always moving forward.
He was past his prime. He went to the Chiefs. I hate to
he was.
A notable mention is Emmitt Smith. I just wanted to mention that.
Yes, sir. Now tell me your number 3 again, Chris. I didn't get it. Marcus
It
Allen.
was Allen, then Emmitt Smith, then Barry Sanders. I don't think. And again, Peyton and Brown, great running backs. But I'm right with Roberto. When you're talking about Barry Sanders, it is so much the what if. The only reason the Lions ever won a game when he was on that team was because of him.
No doubt.
I tell you, they have great players that quit on them. He quit. Megatron quit. I don't understand it.
Because shitty system, shitty city, shitty everything. They wanted out to live like all the other NFL teams.
Wow. Also, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The only guy they let go is what's his name in the Rams.
The biggest problem was not that they were just shitty teams, but they weren't doing anything to improve, and that was the biggest problem.
How come we're not making mention of that, Nzo? They wouldn't let the brothers go, but they let the white guy go. Hey? Never even stopped to look at that shit. People had to retire because they wouldn't be let go, and they let him go.
I'm out of here.
Right. So I have an honorable mention. My honorable mention is Bo Jackson.
True.
You know what I mean?
But he didn't play long enough.
Love Bo Jackson. Oh my God.
He didn't play long enough. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. But my top 3 is number 3 is the bus. Number 2, what, man?
I didn't say nothing.
Number 2 would probably be Barry Sanders, and number 1 is Emmitt Smith.
God,
I know you had to throw that Pittsburgh in it. So,
hey, the bus.
I couldn't even put Jamal Charles on mine. And Jamal Charles.
I didn't say the bus was good, but I don't think he's a top 3 running back. I just don't.
Jamal Charles, who's a Kansas City Chief, has the record for most yards per carry of any quarterback, and he was in the league for 14 years.
Running back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, running back. I didn't even put him on this list, and I thought about it. I'm like, but no, I can't because there's way too many others. Bettis is really good, but going by the Brady thing, I think he's top 10, but I don't think he's top 3. Oh yeah.
My top 3 was Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, and Walter Payton. Sweetness. When I would watch him play now, and when I go back and watch like his best plays, man, the stuff he do, cut back against the grain and making people miss and stuff. And Barry Sanders did all that stuff too. But I don't remember seeing Barry Sanders playing football. I remember seeing Walter Payton playing football, and to me, he's just the best.
But I've seen guys like Barry, maybe not. I mean, like Walter, maybe not the same size, because most of the guys that ran like Walter were much bigger guys, where people just melted off him. Yeah. But for guys to fall like they're being crossed over in basketball on a football field, I just never saw that before. And Barry Sanders did that. To this day, I've never seen a running back his style where I've seen people like Peyton. I've seen people like Jim Brown. I've seen guys like that who could run and run and run and run. But to do what this guy did, oh my God. He made people fall down like on the regular.
I'm going to give an honorable mention to, I know he ain't in the top 10, but in my heart he is, and that's old John Riggins. It's going to see John Riggins run back in the day.
The train, yes. The train.
All right, so my question to you guys.
Joe Morris.
With the current state of the NFL, will we ever see another running back that you would consider a great running back? Do you think we will?
Yeah, we look at him now. McCaffrey.
I think that's
McCaffrey.
He's great, but he
is a hybrid. He is his hands are just as good as his legs. So I think as long as he's don't stay injured, like he's been injury prone. And the only reason I think he was injury prone because Carolina, and give him the protection he need. He's getting that protection now at San Francisco. I think he'll flourish. I just hope that he'll go past, when he start getting age 30, running backs, that's kind of like their shelf life. But
I think he's good, but I don't put him in the list as the top of all time. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll get there, but I just don't have him there yet.
I thought it was a question. Do we see somebody now that'll be considered great when he's retired? Is that pretty much
that guy that played for the Rams?
Who?
He was probably the best running back to come out of the backfield and catch that pass. When they won the Super Bowl with the grocery store quarterback, what was his name?
Don't remember.
Who did he play for? The Rams, you say?
Yeah.
Eric Dickerson?
Not Dickerson. When we were in the Super Bowls, Dickerson didn't win a Super Bowl with the Rams, did he?
No, I think the Rams won their first Super Bowl that other
He was very similar to Emmitt Smith's style of running, but he was more dangerous catching the pass out of the backfield.
Oh, you're talking about the guy from Georgia. Gurley?
No. Before Gurley.
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
What's the quarterback that they made the movie about? He was working at the grocery store for the Rams.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Who was Kurt Warner's running back?
Shit. I don't remember.
This guy was dangerous. Dangerous. Come on, panel.
Marshall Faulk.
Oh, yeah, that's it. No, Marshall Faulk. No.
You talking about Marshall Faulk? It's not quarterback Kurt Warner and running back Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
First and second.
Yes, Marshall Faulk. Marshall
Faulk was good. But again.
No, but he's very similar to McAfee.
Yeah, exactly. They're not built for length. I mean, I think, going back to the things I say about Brady, about why he's not my top. I know. Grumble at me, whatever. It's the same reason why Jim Brown and Walter Payton are there. They had careers that I don't think you'll see these days because, and when you think about how tough it was to play back then, the rules that have changed and all of the things that really should have made their career shorter, they weren't. And they still have those things. If things were the way they are today, I think quarterbacks would have been much longer and better back in the day. They just didn't have that opportunity.
NFL to go back like it used to because then everybody be hurt.
Okay, but that's okay. So, these are the things that I add into the thought, and I know you can't necessarily know, but it's just that's why I'm always the way I am about things. Marshall Faulk, McCaffrey, these people, they are good running backs. I don't think they're going to be the greats. Now, when my kids are growing up with my grandkids,
I guarantee you, statistic-wise, that's the same argument you have.
Statistics to me aren't always the only thing you need to look at.
I think you and I are agreeing with what I just said. You said that they're not going to be the best. They're looked at as the best compared to some of the greats that we've mentioned. And I said maybe not, but I said, but statistic-wise, I think they're going to be equal to, and in some categories, they're going to be better. And case in point, statistic-wise, LeBron James has surpassed Michael Jordan in several statistics, but I don't think he's better than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, true. Oh,
just like Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. Argument goes deep in all sports.
Yeah.
Yep. Terrell Davis was good. Jones, you're right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's all right.
I hated him.
Terrell Davis. He was all right.
Okay. Next, we're going to our wide receivers. Who are your top 3 wide receivers? Who did I start with last time?
You started with me last.
Nzo, who you got for wide receivers?
Okay, so my wide receivers would be Chris Carter.
Oh, I can't stand him.
Really? Randy Moss, number 2. And
who was number 2?
Two people
Moss.
on the same team? Wow.
And number 1 is
Jerry Rice.
Michael Irvin.
What? Over Jerry Rice? Jerry Rice not in your top 3?
No, I don't like Mike. I don't like Jerry Rice.
Oh God.
I am shocked.
I don't like Jerry Rice.
You be a little objective when it comes to these things, but you are being totally a hater.
No, the reason is because Jerry Rice to me is you know, always connected to Joe Montana. You know what I mean? So for
What about
that, I'm
Steve
like,
Young?
and Steve Young too, but I think more Joe Montana than anything. So for me, I like, is he the greatest receiver or was Joe Montana the greatest quarterback?
Bro, you can't have one without the
One
other.
needs the other. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
What?
Because the
One needs
quarterback.
the other.
Because if he keep dropping the passes, then statistics-wise, that's
No,
going to
but
hurt.
what I'm saying is you can, because you can put Randy Moss up there as one of the greatest wide receivers of all
Hold
time,
on.
but he never had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time with him.
Yeah, at one time, didn't he have Brett Favre play with him?
No, it was
And Tom Brady.
who? Well, yeah, he had Tom Brady, but I'm talking about when his first year
In his
he
prime
had
in Minnesota.
yeah, he
With
had
Minnesota, who was the quarterback? Wasn't it?
Randall Cunningham. It was Randall
Okay.
Cunningham was his quarterback.
Well, I
for his
thought
first
one
year.
year that he didn't play under Favre 1 year.
Who?
Didn't Brett Favre play for the Vikings 1 year with Moss?
I don't think he played there. I don't think Moss played there.
Okay.
This was hard, man.
I don't agree with your number
probably
3,
the hardest.
but hey, it's your list, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like Chris Carter at all.
Why?
He was good, but I wouldn't put him top 3 in my.
Well, I'm putting it because of his TV persona. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm being a little bit. On TV. I didn't like him at all. He came off as very cocky and disrespectful to me. That's the vibe I got. And maybe I'm being totally unfair and basing his personality on his play. So
The reason why he's there for me is because I think without him, Moss wouldn't have been the wide receiver.
He definitely mentored him. I believe
Yeah.
that now.
So,
but I believe that Moss was the better of the two.
I agree. That's why Moss is my number 2.
I got you. Chris,
and Michael Irvin is just because I was a fan.
Oh yeah, I love Michael Irvin now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. What are your 3?
Marvin Harrison, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice.
Who did he play for?
Indiana.
Marvin Harrison? He was a
Peyton
Colt.
Manning.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys ain't gonna like my shit.
Tell me your 3 again, Chris. Marvis Harrison, who? Randy Moss, and who?
Joe Montana. Jerry Rice, I think he said.
Chris, where's your 3 again? Chris,
well, he muted, so we know what happened.
He's muted.
I'm not muted.
Oh.
What's your 3 again?
That's funny, man.
Marvin Harrison. Randy Moss. And Jerry Rice.
Okay, gotcha. Roberto, what are your 3?
I got Calvin Johnson.
Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Woo-hoo, wow.
Danny, I'll tell you this much. Before he went cuckoo and all his little I've never seen a wide receiver go number 1 ever.
I'm not even going like that. I'm just going by you pick a Steeler.
I'm just calling it for what it was worth.
Yeah.
Like, I'm calling the guys that amaze me, like Megatron. This guy was triple team and he was still catching passes.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. You know, I never see what Antonio Brown did. And as much as I did not like the 49ers during their time, Jerry Rice, because this guy was just the Michael Jackson of football during his time, man.
It's a bad man, boy.
Even though Montana was throwing him that ball, it's just every time he caught it, it was a fucking touchdown, man.
Yep, fundamentals.
You mean the Michael?
Because he wasn't all that fast. He meant
Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, all the Michaels.
Yeah, he was bad, boy.
He was a bad MF.
Yep.
I hated that fucker.
We could tell.
I didn't like him either. Tell you, Anzo. You know what it reminds me of?
Make your list. We
You know what it reminds me of? To tell you the honest truth, Anzo. That track runner for the USA that was hated on our Jamaican Canadian.
Shit.
When he lost, no, that was another.
When he lost to the drug guy.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Ben, what's his name? Fuck, Ben Johnson.
No, not Ben Johnson. Yeah, he lost to Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The food I got is good. I know we don't talk about food on the show, but the food I got is good. So my memory is lapsing hard, yo.
Okay.
But I can remember the city, the team, maybe the date, but the names, they just never stay, man.
Wasn't it Lewis something?
I hated him. He was so
Yeah, I hated him.
I can't even put the word on it. I can't say arrogant, cocky. Like he acted like he was number one in the world, and he really wasn't.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The same shit as Michael Johnson. You remember that when he ran against Donovan Bailey, and he pulled up, that he pulled his hamstring when he was getting eaten, mash up. Finish your race like a man and take your loss. Stop crying.
Okay. My three are Moss at number 3, Michael Irvin, the playmaker, at number 2, and good old Rice at number 1.
I wasn't sure you were going to put Randy Moss on yours. Not Randy Moss, Michael Irvin.
Oh, yeah. Even as a Cowboy, I like Michael Irvin. I didn't like him much when he's a Cowboy, but I really like him now. He is very entertaining. And I went back and watched his plays, and he was good. I mean, I can't deny it.
Anik has a comment for you there, Anzo, about Jerry Rice catching balls from Young and Montana.
What do you say? Because I'm not looking.
Jerry Rice got 1,000 yards at age 39 with garbage QB with the Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. There's no ups about it. He did at 39 years old. That's some fucking crazy shit.
Who was the quarterback for the Raiders at that time?
I'm sure that's the question we'll never get.
Gannon?
Nobody.
Because Gannon was Gannon. Gannon wasn't bad.
Yeah, he was average. He was average.
Is it the guy that just got rid of? What's his name? He been there for a minute.
No. Anybody playing now wasn't the quarterback there, Gannon.
Dante Culpepper. He was good. Dante.
Yeah, he was being Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, Dante Culpepper.
When Moss was there.
Yeah, they had them three. The three-headed monster with them three.
Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, it was Rich Gannon.
It was Gannon? Okay, so then there you go. It was Gannon. If it's Gannon,
yeah.
Gannon
going back to my.
It wasn't great, but
but no Montana or Young.
No. But
going back to my.
Very capable.
Going back to what I said earlier about taking a QB out that's winning during the season, we took Rich Gannon out for I want to say it was Elvis Gerbach in the playoffs because Gerbach was our starter.
He be trying to say some bull crap.
What?
Ooh, he's very capable.
He went to the Super Bowl, bro. He went to the Super Bowl. He was capable.
The way you said it, man, made me not believe that.
The only reason why
Anzo didn't believe himself.
No, the only reason why he lost that Super Bowl. Oh no! What am I saying?
Rewind.
I'm like, wait a minute. The only reason why he didn't win the Super Bowl, no, he went to Tampa.
He wasn't a shit QB, Anzo, but nobody was picking him up in fantasy. He's like Jones for the Giants, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if I was doing fantasy back then, so I wouldn't know. But
what I'm saying, he's the equivalent of a Jones.
Oh goodness, that's funny.
He's at the top of the pick list, but nobody's picking him up.
Yeah, no, he wasn't great. He wasn't one of those.
He was all right. He was all right. He wasn't shit, but he wasn't.
I ain't saying he. I'm just saying the way you said that made me not believe that. That's what
I got you. I got you.
Okay, last category. Whoo, this is my favorite here. Rank your 3 best linebackers of all time. Now, I'm telling you right now, you're going to get Phantom Zone if your number 1 ain't right.
Oh.
And you're probably not going to be invited back to the show next week. So we know who should be your number 1.
This
ain't even close.
Drugs? Is this list with or without drugs?
I'm not.
I don't care what you say with or without. I'm telling you, your number 1 better be a certain person.
Well, it's not.
If it's not, oh Lord,
then something is wrong.
And I get to start, so I get to be the first. I get to be the first to get Phantom Zone. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, I get the first because
you just started, Anzo.
Oh, I did. Shit, my bad.
Let me get my Phantom Zone ready. Before I get that, here go. The first thing. Here's the first one right here.
Be very careful with the next thing you say.
That's the lineup. Now, let me get my most vicious. Yeah, where's it at? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Was it going to be the Rifleman?
No,
I mean, I'm almost tempted to say something wrong just to see what you pull.
No, yeah.
All right. Number 3, Ray Lewis. Number 2, Junior Seau. And number 3, Lawrence Taylor. Or number 1, I'm sorry. Number 1, Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, so you're good.
Oh, you
That's
good?
what he's expecting to be doing.
Whew. You had me scared there for a minute, bro.
I'm gonna go next.
No, I almost was going to say something stupid just to see what you pull.
Oh, okay.
But no, that's my 3.
I'm gonna go
Your
next.
number 3 was who?
I put Ray Lewis number 3
Okay,
and Junior Seau number 2. But I think they were both very, very similar abilities.
Okay. Go ahead, Nzo.
Number 3, Junior Seau. Number 2, Ray Lewis. And number 1, Jack Lambert.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
That is vicious, boy. That was wicked.
Yeah, I'm not putting them up there just because you want me to put them up there. Nah, screw that.
Wow. Go ahead, Roberto.
Mine is very similar to Chris's, just in a different order. I got Junior Seau at number 3, Ray Lewis at number 2, and Lawrence Taylor at number 1.
Wow.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
My number 3 is Mike Singletary.
Ooh.
Oh, that's true, huh?
Good. That's good.
Forgot about Mike.
My number 2 is Ray Lewis, and my 1, of course, is Lawrence Timmons, the man who changed the whole. I mean, Lawrence Taylor.
Adam's on yourself, Daddy.
No, negative. I said LT. I had LT here, but I was thinking about the guy from Pittsburgh who was defensive end. No, they went to Wilson High School, which I represented. But it is Lawrence Taylor, the baddest man that ever played the linebacker position, in my opinion.
I don't think I mean, I've seen some vicious hits in the past years, but I don't think anything.
I'm like, oh my God,
dude. I mean, I remember plays where he'd hit a guy and his shoes would come off.
It's the fucking Theismann. You know what I mean? Like, really?
Hey, that's what they did
on cocaine.
I bet you every time Theismann look at his leg, he start crying. Oh God!
Ended his career.
Sure did.
So yeah, absolutely.
Danny, do you know? Anyways, no need to bring up history.
Yes, sir.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm interested.
No, I was just going to mention that both Theismann and what's his name again, Chris? Your guy that mentored Mahomes?
Oh, Smith. Yeah.
Smith. Yeah, they both broke their tibia on my birthday.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So you were bad luck for quarterbacks.
Bad luck. These motherfuckers giving me bad gifts, man. I don't want that for my birthday.
Bad juju.
They need to stop playing on my birthday. Thursday night football is not for Washington.
Yes. We got 2 more questions. And question number 9, or topic number 9 is, this is a very subjective question. I hope we all on the same page with this one. Should the Cowboys still
No.
Wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead and start over again. I'll wait for you to finish.
Should the Cowboys still hold the title America's team?
Yeah.
Wow. What's wrong with you, man?
What?
Why you want to start shit tonight? You give me one good reason why Dallas Cowboys should be America's team.
Because they've always been. Why change?
That's not a good reason.
If it ain't broke, don't try to fix
when
it.
they were America's team, they were actually a really good football team.
Yeah, but it's Dallas. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah,
you got to
make an argument that Michael Tomlin's team could be called America's team.
You could.
Well,
New England could have been called America's team.
Exactly. That's who should have been. That's who should have been called America's team.
Yeah, but you see, the reason why I don't go at New England is because that shit that they did with New England, their first championship was bullshit. right? They created a
Oh.
rule to give them the championship, and the only reason why they did it was because it was 9/11 and Patriots, the patriotic way, and
But guess
Listen
what?
to this guy.
But guess what? That enhanced.
I'm wrong for saying that.
That not only protected that quarterback, it protected all quarterbacks, bro, including yours.
What? The Tuck rule didn't protect nobody.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. Tuck rule don't protect nobody. The Tuck rule is just a bullshit rule that they wanted to use because it was a pure fumble, and they didn't want the fucking Patriots to lose that game.
Okay.
I was a Raider fan at the time.
Okay. All right. Okay. Everybody's on the same agreement that they should not be called America's team. I'm totally in agreement with that. You want America to stand for something that's great, and they haven't been to the playoffs. And correct me if I'm wrong. 26 years,
something like that.
25 years. So no, they are irrelevant when it comes to winning. They are irrelevant. They may be the highest paid professional team on the planet at $9 billion. I can't deny that.
Yes.
So if you're gonna throw that into the equation, then maybe you can make an argument that they should be, because they are definitely the richest American team.
Are they really still called America's team? Because I'm not
Yes.
really hearing
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every time they're on the national broadcast, it's said. And all it is, it's like Yankee. Okay, so it's like the Yankees, for instance. If you don't have a team but you like a sport, or let's say you're from overseas or you're not that big into a sport, and you just sit there and you're like, oh, well, I'll just pick, I'll pick the Cowboys. Because it's like an easy pick because, it's America's team. So I'll root for them.
Here's the question, though. Are the Cowboys, are they the most watched NFL team?
They are.
Then that's why they're still America's team.
That's why if you watch, they always get the Thanksgiving games. They always get the Christmas games, because usually whenever they play, they're the most watched team. They're the highest far as worth. Their net worth, last time I checked, was $9 billion. That is insane to me for a football team, for any kind of team, but they're worth that. So Jerry Jones, he knew.
That's
how
a
much
rough
they said Jerry Jones bought it for?
Weakness.
He bought it for a few million, and now look how much he's worth.
Yeah, so for me, if they're the number one watched team in America, then I'll say yes, they're America's team. You know what I mean? I'll give them that.
I don't know. I have to look at those statistics again, because I don't believe that's the case. Who wants to watch that shit? Pop it up, Danny. Pop it up.
Okay.
They put them on the last game at 8 o'clock because you have no choice to watch them. Put them on at 1 o'clock. See how much people watch them. You don't notice most of the games of that 8 o'clock game, Nzo?
What?
I know that's the big 8 o'clock Sunday night football game. You know, it's usually Dallas.
Is it really? I don't know. I haven't.
I find they play a lot of those games.
They probably do.
Because they're not sharing with anybody
but wait,
else.
How many times weren't they on twice on prime time anyways so far?
Yeah, already, yeah.
I think I'm right here ranked, and let's see. Dallas 1, New England Patriots 2, Steelers 3, Philadelphia 4, San Fran 5, Green Bay 6, Seattle 7, Kansas City 8, Giants 9, Broncos 10, Chicago 11.
That's crazy.
You say New England Patriots?
Yeah, that's going to stop.
When I see those guys on TV, I change it. Oh, but this is old. I'm talking now.
It won't matter.
It should change. New England shouldn't be up there number 1. Number 2.
Well, he took himself out. Well, it's not going to. What's going to change is the fact that Travis Kelce's fake dating Taylor Swift. So everybody's
dating. Is that the rumor in KC? He's fake dating.
Yep.
And
I don't know about.
To be honest with
I've
you,
heard that's all publicity stunt. Because his old girlfriend, she went on. It was one of those shows that me and my wife watched the other night, talking about how he led her to believe that she was going to be it, and she met the family and all this kind of stuff. She act like she a jilted lover to me, but she said that she think that it's like a publicity stunt. I don't know.
And I was just
don't really care.
I was gonna say, to be honest with you, Roberto, like when Tom Brady was there, they built up a huge following, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe a lot of their fans are still there. You know what I mean? Even though they're not the same thing, so they may not be up as high now, but I still think they would still be one of the most watched.
But keep in mind, a lot of them fell off and went to Tampa because they follow Tom. They don't
Yeah,
follow the Patriots.
No, I know. But I'm saying that they still would have had the.
Yeah, you got a point because at one point they were America's team.
Yeah.
And that's a good comment there, Nick, because America keeps pushing them as America's team.
That could be right. That could be.
You know, Jerry signed a deal with the devil, man.
That could be the reason why they're watched so much is because they're always on prime time. That could be it, right?
That's big money.
Yeah, like you said.
Same thing like the Yankees.
Every Thanksgiving game, you're going to see Dallas play somebody.
Yeah, always.
Every Christmas, you're going to see them play somebody.
Even when they're 5 or 4-4 or 2-3, it doesn't matter what their record is, they play.
Which NFL team has the highest TV rating? The Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Green Bay Packers have the highest NFL TV
Giants?
amongst all 32 teams. This is why you often see the Cowboys, Giants, and Packers playing so many primetime games.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Giants?
Even the Giants. Yeah, even the Giants. Yeah, I could agree with that. New York, man. You know what I mean?
Yep. New York, they got a big chunk of TV stuff.
Yeah. I could agree with that.
Let's see.
I would think a Cali team would because California is fucking huge, man.
Yeah,
but they've got
3 teams.
I was going to say they've got several teams, and that's the
3 or 4
problem.
teams.
See, they got it right here. This
3.
year, the number one viewed game this year on week 3
Kansas City
was Chicago and Kansas City at
yeah.
24.32 million.
Oh yeah, and by the way,
Pittsburgh. Let me read off first. I'll let you talk. Pittsburgh versus the Raiders was 19.2 million viewers. New England versus the Jets was 17.5. Giants versus San Francisco was 13.9. Philly versus Tampa Bay was 13.7. Green Bay against the Saints was 12.2.
No mention of Cowboys.
And that was week 3. Now let's see what week 4 was.
Well,
week 4 is coming up, no?
Yeah, week 4. They're saying right here. This would be New York Giants versus Dallas. That ain't correct. That was week 2.
Week 3.
This is week 2. Week 2.
Yeah, I think
Dallas,
week 4 is going to be that Miami game. It's going to be the biggest.
Week 2 was Dallas and the Jets at 12.8. No, 25.7 viewers. Miami and New England was number 2. Green Bay, Atlanta, and San Fran and Rams were tied for number 3. Kansas City versus Jacksonville was number 4. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh was number 5. Minnesota versus Philadelphia was number 6. And North Carolina Saints versus Carolina. Now what was number 1?
Watch Danny. Miami, Buffalo.
Dallas came in at 4. But Detroit versus Kansas City was number 1. The first week.
Well, that was also the first game of the year. So,
yeah.
But
that was a Thursday night game. But on a Sunday night game, Dallas came in second.
Yeah. The thing though, on week 3, what you won't read is that the Kansas City game, they actually left because of how far Kansas City was ahead. They left it. Those viewers were because Taylor Swift was being watched every 5 seconds on that game.
Which one?
The one against the Chicago Bears, because she was in a press box, or she was in a suite. They left that game.
And
the national broadcast, the national broadcast stopped. I think they said before the halftime or something like that. I can't remember what it was. They left it, so only Kansas City fans were watching it after that. That 25 million was like within the first 2 quarters. And I mean, if you think about it, for the NFL, that was a horrible choice because they probably would have gotten more once everyone was like, "Oh my God, she's on TV, let's watch."
But you see, that's the thing, right? Because we talk about the ratings, right? And but is that the ratings for the whole game? Because I know once it's a blowout or not an interesting game, people will switch to other games.
Not necessarily, because I think everybody wants to see whether or not Miami was going to break that record, so that they stayed. So I guess it depends on if there's a record or something monumental maybe coming up. So I think a lot of people tuned in to see the ass kicking. A lot of people tuned in to see whether or not they were going to go for that field goal to break the record. So I think some games, I agree with you that if it's a blowout and you're like, I don't want to watch this. But something that of that magnitude, I think that caused people to do to tune in for two reasons: to see if they were going to do it, and they heard about, man, you seen this game right here, to watch it. So
No, I feel you.
I could be wrong.
No, I feel you. I feel you 100%. Especially if it's because I know that would get me to watch a game more. It's like, oh, are they really gonna score fucking 100 points in this game or what?
I would have done it. I would have done it.
I
I
would've
would have
still
kicked
wanna
that field goal and break the record. I'm sorry if you think I'm petty, but guess what? I'm about to put it on you.
You know what? I would have probably done it too, but I know that's gonna cause a lot of issues around the NFL and people and players gonna be like, oh, they're running up the score, and that's a no. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you don't run the score, but man, you only 1 or 2 points from breaking a record. I'd have done that. Say, look, bro, this is gonna be a history. What it scored? What 4 touchdowns and four receiving touchdowns and 4 passes in one game? And that ain't never happened. Yeah. Okay, last question of the day. Last topic of the day is, who do we think going to be in the Super Bowl this year? I'll go first, and I think it's going to be Miami versus the 49ers.
Pittsburgh, Dallas.
Oh, God, I do not want to see that. I am here to tell you, if it's Pittsburgh and Dallas, I will not.
Wow.
I will not watch it.
Wow.
The only thing I'm going to watch is the halftime show, because Usher going to be doing the halftime show this season. That's it.
You're not going to support your brother to win another Super Bowl, Danny?
Who my brother? Huh? Uncle Tom? I mean, Mike Tomlin?
Yeah. Wow.
I hope he win it. I'll be pulling for Pittsburgh. I don't want to watch it. Don't want to watch it. I will pull for him. I just told you I'm going to pull for him. I'm going to hope he win it, but I don't want to watch it. Because if Dallas win, we have to leave this planet, and I don't have the means to leave Earth yet.
You got to support, man. I'd be watching it. Damn right. Let's go.
Yeah, I know you would be. I probably wouldn't stream for you for that whole month. Hey, Danny, you want to stream now?
I'm good. I got work tonight.
I'm busy. I got to work.
But
Danny, it's 2:00 in the morning. Yeah, I just got a call. I got to work. I got to go.
But yeah, I think it'll be Kansas City and I don't know who. Maybe San Francisco.
All right. Who do you think, Roberto?
I think it's KC Philly. Again.
For the rematch.
Again. And Philly takes it.
Wow.
Mahomes goes down in the first quarter.
Who?
Mahomes.
Mahomes then he got hurt a little bit, and then he came back and limping.
Yeah.
Shit, I hope
this time he really get hurt.
I hope he gets hurt next game, to be honest with you.
Wow. Well, you know my fantasy football, so I don't care.
No, I like him. I don't,
No, it's fucking Quentin has him.
Do you remember where I picked in the draft?
Like, thank you, Lord. Huh?
Because do you remember where I picked in the draft? Was I 4th or 6th?
I ain't sure.
Because Anzo's telling me I passed up on Mahomes, and I can't sleep since he's told me that.
No, you didn't.
I know what happened.
Passed up on Mahomes.
Yeah, what it was. Usually
no, Jose said I passed up on it. Sorry.
No.
On the snake, you pick first. And I'm telling you, I was the last one, because I did like the 13th or whatever. I think the 10th and 11th pick. So I was planning on picking Mahomes. I ain't gonna say a lie to you. That was in my mind. But Quentin picked before I did, and I was like, "This mother." And then Anzo was saying, "This mother, he picked such and such." But that was my plan.
I saw him disappear. I was sad. I said I gotta get Kelsey next.
Because here's the thing: every fucking year, I take a quarterback first. Every year, I take a quarterback first. So nobody else takes a quarterback first. Nobody has done it. And as long as we've been doing this, and I used to get, oh, you're taking a quarterback pick? I always take Brady, right? So this year I figured
I'm going to pick Mahomes first.
He got picked in the second round.
Who?
Mahomes got picked in the second round.
No, he got picked in the first round.
First round.
Quentin took him. Yeah, Quentin took him right away.
I saw his name disappear, and I was like all lost because I was for sure I thought I was getting him.
Quentin took him right away because I had to pick before Quentin. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a running back because I know no one's going to take a quarterback in the first round. And then fucking Quentin did. I think he was right after me. And I was like, this motherfucker. And it just ruined my whole shit. That's why. But yeah.
Well, he's going to pick on San Francisco.
What's that?
Hold on.
Yeah. It pissed me off, man.
You'd read her text.
I was
Oh
like,
my God, I did pick fourth.
Uh-huh.
How did I pick Kelsey before Mahomes?
I don't know.
I need to know when
Quentin picked
Quentin picked.
after me.
Because
I think I was 5th. Hold on,
Really?
give me a second after this. I can find out the draft.
I can't believe, because I know I saw on the ticket, I saw Mahomes' name. I said, "Oh no," and I panicked. I was like, "Oh no!" That was my first pick, man, and I just ran and grabbed Kelsey because I needed to get a solid.
Can
tight
it tell
end.
you to pick who picked what on this? Yeah,
Huh?
on the draft, can it tell you?
I think I can find it. I'm looking for it now.
Because if you click on the draft, it'll. Oh yeah, you could change teams. Nzo picked 6. I can't believe I took Kelsey before I took Mahomes.
Well, you got to check and see where Quentin picked, because if
Quentin picked 6, he was 6th in the first round.
And you were what?
4th.
Oh. Yeah, right. Because nobody thought anybody was going to take a fucking quarterback first.
And he took Saquon Barkley as his second pick?
Yeah.
I don't know. Quentin looks like he has a super team. But
He don't, 'cause I just beat Quentin.
Yeah, he had a bad week. Look, I only got 69 points the first week. I almost got 200 against Nzo.
Yeah.
This season, you gotta watch everything, because I just heard, I got a text. Well, I'm in another league. It's ESPN, and this league they sent a text saying that Cooper Kupp might be off the injury reserve.
Yeah, he's coming back.
So I'm watching him hard and heavy.
Somebody has him already.
I got him over here.
Danny does.
Yeah, I'm trying to see whether or not I put this bad boy in, because I'm looking at that thing. It's still saying he ain't practiced nothing but like 1 or 2
guys,
hours.
I got to run.
Later, Chris.
All right, bro.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Your channel.
Oh, yeah. Real Review 3000 and Hanstar YT, and, of course, Chaos Central. And, guys, thank you very much. Talk to you later, okay?
All right, bro. Later.
As my team is now, I fucked up big time. Chris sent me a trade for, he wanted Stephon Diggs and Chubb for McCaffrey and that dude that's injured on his team. And because I didn't want the injured guy, I was like, nah. So I ended up changing the trade, which he didn't take, and then Chubbs got hurt. And Chubbs was gone for the season.
I took Baltimore's defense as my 14th pick. I can't believe that. There's so many defenses to choose in the. Cleveland was there. Who else was there? Pittsburgh was there. Detroit was there. There was so many good defenses that were free agents, and I actually used it as a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yo, it ain't easy.
I actually took Trevor Lawrence 6th, yo.
Yeah, I gotta wrap this up, fellas. I got something I gotta go do. But
all right, Danny.
I definitely, y'all gonna stay on, or y'all want to go ahead?
No, we can close it up.
Okay, thank everybody that came in here. Anik Jones, I thank you, brother. Samuel Stokes, who else? Chillmonger, thank you. Coach Gabe, thank you. Tucker.
Whoa.
What was that?
Thank you, everybody, for coming in here. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Roberto.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Go, Roberto.
Yeah, you can catch me and Nzo Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock, off our chests. And, of course, I'm happy to be back doing what I love, talking about sports.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back if work allows. And, yeah, last week, off OOC, awesome. Y'all make sure y'all check that out, man. Great conversation last week. And I am Danny Graham. You can catch me Monday through Friday on my show here on this channel, The Road to Wisdom. Also, you can check me on Monday nights on the Chaos Central along with Nzo and Chris Knight. And tomorrow we'll be doing the roundtable for Ahsoka, and I'll be on Storms Live. So until then, y'all take it easy.
Peace.
Have a great weekend. Make sure you watch some football tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Where's the outro?
You didn't give the scores. But it's all good. Next week.
Yep,
I
do it
sent
next
them.
week.
No, I'm talking. We usually announce the scores at the end of the show, or we used to.
Yeah, right now Roberto is kicking our butt, but next week we'll give you the scores as they are. Then
That's why he wants the scores.
yeah, that's why we know that.
Hey.
Until then, man, peace.
Peace.